Well, somebody who said what they wanted today, man, was Bobby Shmurda. Now, apparently all his fans have been waiting for his music, you know, since he's been released. Now, I think he put a little something out, but they're waiting for that full body of work. Now, Bobby put this up on his Twitter earlier. He put, I ain't been in charge of my music since I was 19 and I just turned 27. And honestly, I don't know when the shit dropping. So don't ask me shit. Go ask them mother effers since they want to control everything. Now, just a little bit of the backstory. Bobby Shmurda has been signed to Epic Records since 2014, the same year of his hot single, Hot. N-word, you know, came out and was put on the map, you know what I mean, and pretty much, you know, tore the industry down. What do you think about this, Sam, man? Bobby saying he ain't got no control over his music, essentially.
One, that song came out a long time ago, and it was hot and it's still out, but that came out a long time ago, and we can't continue to ride that song.
Right.
Bobby's feeling the pressure right now. Bobby was coming out of jail, and he's one of the hottest artists out there. Everybody couldn't wait to hear him. But now we're slowly finding out that Bobby, unfortunately, is no different than a lot of these very good-looking artists out front, but very broke and non-controlled artists in the back and in the real. And when you start signing these contracts, and you don't know what's in them, and you have no control over anything, this kind of stuff happens. I'm not beating this dude up because I was once a 27-year-old in a fucked up contract and couldn't do anything with my music. I was playing some of the old music. Damn, I ain't never heard. There's a lot y'all ain't here because it was a lot that didn't come out. And I understand that feeling. And to be in Bobby Shmurda's position where you got people, you sitting on the phone, social media kind of affects your life and things like that. And people are asking questions and you hearing this and you know the whispers of hot N-word coming out a long time ago and you needing another one of those and meeting those expectations, and you find this frustration and you realize this music shit ain't all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, that's sad. And then, you know, a few months ago, he also announced he was with Jay-Z and he was pretty much with Roc Nation. And, you know, I'm seeing like a common trend with this whole thing. Like, it seems like to me that Roc Nation is starting to point out a lot of the bull crap going on with these record companies. Like, we've seen it happen with a lot of people. Are like, all right, you know, you need to go check this and this and this because this ain't right. That's what it seems like to me, because a few other artists that signed with Roc Nation, right after that, they start complaining about, oh, I ain't getting this, I ain't getting that. So it's really kind of, to me, shining a light on the industry as a whole. And, you know, just doing, you know, the interviews that we do, talking to different actresses, but mainly so people that done music, it's the same narrative over and over.
Yep.
That first one, which that was probably his first deal back then, because that was his first, you know, hot song that popped off, was a crazy deal. It was messed up. They ain't read it because, you know, they was hot at the time and you thought you was going to stay hot forever. Like you said, you know, they not reading them contracts. And then it's just like, you know, when you sign a contract and you say, man, why you do this? And somebody shows you, look, you sign right here and this is what this says. Now you're on the internet complaining, talking about you don't know when your music is coming out. Now, I'm not taking no shots at Bobby.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just taking shots, you know, more so at the industry. And anything we do, you know, a lot of people talk about $1 million worth of game, but who gives more $1 million worth of game than us? You know what I mean? Over here on Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, you got to read the contract. Learn from Bobby. Learn from some of these other artists. Like, if you're an up-and-coming artist and you get hot, get the lawyer, get somebody to go over this stuff and know what you're signing before you get into it. Learn from other people's mistakes. That's why this stuff pops up and it happens for people to learn. Now, you know, ultimately, I think that Bobby will end up good, you know, but it's just a sad situation. Somebody who was hot as he was came out. I mean, like, he came out to riches, it seems like, you know what I mean? Came out with nothing, had like 50 chains, cars, bottles, women. That's a great thing. Twerking and all that. That's all great, you know what I'm saying? But your contract, that stuff ain't it. And you can't put your music out when you want to. I just don't get it, man. Stay independent, man. Come on, where the independent artists at?
This is one of the frustrating parts about East Coast hip hop, New York hip hop in particular, because we got a lot of fire up here, but you don't see a lot of these issues going on with your Southern artists. Why? Because they independent.
Yep.
Why? Because they ain't involved in a lot of these dumbass things, and they had the blueprint on how to really be able to be successful in the business of music, putting out what you want, recouping what you want. You don't see it. They got 1 million records coming out all up and down the fucking highway. But I don't know if it's a regional thing, but I know that it happens far too often, and you got to stop complaining. How many times are we going to watch this happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over again before we, one, either realize the power of what we got and do this shit on our own, or really thoroughly take care of these contracts, whether you can afford a lawyer or you fucking YouTube how to really read through these shits and take the time to do it. Because you either going to take 3 weeks to a month to read that contract or cost you 10 years of your life. Which one you want?
And it's like this, like when we say afford a lawyer, you ain't got to go necessarily retain a lawyer.
Right.
You can get them to do a contract review for you for a few $100s, whatever it costs. You know what I mean? At first, just to look over to make sure everything is right. And then at that point, if you guys want to do business, you can do business. So don't get scared about a lawyer thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have to, you know, get them a whole bunch of money just to look over a contract, you know, for you. Some shit, you got even like these services, Legal Shield and things like that, prepaid, whatever they call it now. You can get that stuff done for free as long as you pay a little membership. So it's ways around things out here. We just saying we in the industry and we interview a lot of people, so we kind of see this thing over and over and over way too many times.
I'm glad you said it, oh God. I'll end it on that. I'd rather see artists go through that route than to try to find an entertainment lawyer that's tied up throughout the industry anyway, and it's gonna fuck you off over in the long run anyway, because your accountant, your lawyer, your paperwork, how all that goes down, doctors and shit, they all work for somebody and then ingrained through something, and they don't all ultimately have your best interest at heart at the end of the day. So do the due diligence in finding people that you can do independently on your own. And that'll help in the long run too and save you some money.
Absolutely, man. But let's talk about this, man. Somebody who hopefully is saving a lot of money nowadays because he ain't really running the street. NBA Youngboy did an interview. He had a conversation actually with these academics on Clubhouse, and he talked about 6ix9ine. I'm going to play a little bit of it. I'm not going to play a lot because it's too vulgar. And we'll talk about this. Here we go.
They're like me. I reach out. I do something 6ix9ine before I do a song where I be pussy ass niggas. Yeah.
Oh man, the industry kills that, man.
The industry is suck money.
All right, so we see what he's about to say. I'm not gonna keep going too far into that, man. You know, some people like, this is uncensored. How could you censor something out like that? That's the way the game is. You know what I mean? Right now, you know. So, but anyway. What do you think about that, man? Because you got NBA Youngboy coming out saying, look, I'll make a song with 6ix9ine. And he pretty much was saying, look, his situation ain't got nothing to do with me. He didn't snitch on me. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't have a problem with what he said if it didn't go against what he put out here on the streets all these years. Let me first start off with what he said.
Right.
There's a lot of fake ass people in this industry.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, if you go and listen to it further, that we don't know what they would do if they were put in that situation. That's a fact.
Most people gonna snitch, right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But me personally, not knowing 6ix9ine personally and not knowing his situation personally, from an outside looking in as media, I don't respect what he did. I don't respect how he did it.
Exactly.
That will never change.
Facts.
You portrayed one thing, whether it had been fake or not. You took it all the way to where it was very real. And then you went against totally what it was supposed to be. Now, if you wanted to do this or however people want to fucking put it and slice it, he had the right. You wouldn't know what you would do in that situation. The fact that he provocatized this and antagonized and put people's lives in situations and put people down that did not have anything to do with what he was doing is a violation, and that's wrong. Right. NBA Youngboy is a young brother right now who is ridiculously talented, but has a lot of issues personally, and I hope that he can get those straightened out so that he can continue to feed his family and do the things that these young brothers and sisters love him doing. And if that means doing a record with 6ix9ine, you obviously know it's probably gonna make a couple dollars. So I don't know, man.
And it's like, my thing is why you do it? Like, why would you do it? You're the biggest artist probably out here right now, period, point blank. You know what I mean? One of the guys making the most money, according to the Forbes. Why haven't helped this dude? Like, this dude pretty much fell off the edge of the earth. Like, his gimmick ain't working no more. I'm not saying that he's broke or nothing like that. I'm not in his pocket. I don't give a damn. But I'm talking about like his image and everything and his perception and everything. The dude is in a coffin right now in hip hop. Maybe he can make a comeback. That's on him. You know what I mean? But why would you want to do that? And then, like you said, you know, you're a guy that, you know, proclaims this whole street thing, this whole bravado, no snitch and that. Now you're gonna go do business with a rat for what? To spite who? I just don't get it. Now I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with it, but to me, it's about character.
Yeah.
With people, you know what I mean? And like, you know, people could put that to the side. Some people could say, well, oh, we're just doing a song. I kind of don't think that way. To me, I think a little bit deeper. Like, this dude's coward. His character is flawed. You know, he portrayed this whole, you know, big thing, and then he got all these men locked up that protected his life with them, and then he tried to come out and act like he was justified for doing so. I wouldn't expect somebody of NBA YoungBoy's caliber to do any type of business with him. But hey, that's his prerogative, man. Like you said, on the back end of that, you know, it's almost like you try to justify it by saying, oh, these fake dudes in the industry, this, that. You try to justify, ain't no justification for it, dog. This is the rule that you guys put in place. You know what I mean? And if you do that, you're going to be looked at funny from a lot of different people. But hey, it's your thing, man. It's your prerogative, you know. And one thing about this industry is more so all about money than anything. Like, it's not about the snitching. It's not about, you know, black. It's not about really white. It's about the almighty dollar. We're finding that out very, very quick. The dollar and attention. If you got that, people will sell their babies to come sit on your platform or go do a song with you or whatnot. It's crazy.
And that's the disgusting part. If this is all going to be about money, and this is going to be a money grab, if the beefs are going to be about money, if the attention is going to be about money, if we're not going to care about culture, if we're not going to care about the essence of where this really came from, okay, cool. Can we stop killing each other, please? Can we let that shit be fake and not pull out real guns and end people's real lives?